Let's get the trash.
This trash container is locked. The
From how
sliding
to
lid
cut.
has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags."
And the padlock with the key.
With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
What do I... Island Empire is... Hunches and gut feelings, dreams and waking life. I mean, can it really be that much worse than the dead body?
Just a feeling. A warning from some part of you.
Open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Ew. Under the boxes of carton.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar.
Do I dumpster dive often?
You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this.
Used to what? Dumpster diving?
No, searching for evidence in the trash.
Dive further.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Can I equip them? Grab them.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
Oh, were they what he was wearing?
Are these the victim's clothes? The smell is not nearly as bad as the cadaver. These clothes could not have been in contact with the deceased for more than 2 days after his death.
You can see the little flies.
Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. By early stages, you mean these were taken from him no more than 2 days after his death?
Yes, if we're still assuming the clothes were taken off to get to the armor, they must have stripped him of it fast, the scavengers, in a matter of days.
Bag the trousers.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too, a white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the container.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
I guess. Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Bag the shirt.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
He nods himself.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that...
Thrown out towel, a mug, that's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Yeah, we need to ask the kids who put them there.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
See?
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Search the food waste.
It's just organic waste. cold and slimy on your hands.
Ew.
Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, what's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Take it out.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Moist. Great.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
No, it can't be.
Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form.
A miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
Must have thrown it away. I think I didn't want to be a cop anymore, so I threw it away.
Well,
He doesn't know what to say.
lucky we found it. You should take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has not made it into the hands of the RCM's adversaries. Organized crime and the like. There might have been police secrets in your notes.
Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
The mug. I'm getting that mug too.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron,
An antique.
only in its social sensibility.
Take the mug. I don't know why I need the mug, but it was an option.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Yellow man mug. This broken-eared mug somehow made its way into the whirling in rags dumpster. It depicts a person of Sumerian descent frolicking in a field of saffron flowers, buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly. It seems to be a cheap knockoff of some colonial-era antique.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Look at all that content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do. I'm going to push this into the face of every merchant I find and tell them this is your insane ideology. The mug will be useful. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital to mask my bad hustling, i.e. fraud and embezzlement. The mug didn't belong in the trash. It was just a funny mug. Can't anyone laugh anymore? This mug is an example of prejudice.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work? Just finish your case, detective.
Give me the option. If you give me the option to pick a mug out of the trash, I'm gonna pick the mug out of the trash. That doesn't mean that's what I should be doing. It's just what I'm gonna do.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board. biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Run your finger across the aluminum.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned? Point to the sticker.
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
Why? Like, I would think that knowing your address would be pretty good since he doesn't apparently know where he lives. How can I read it? Well, sounds like the headlights.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
You mentioned the headlights of your Kimo?
Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight.
Look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside, light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps. Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it.
You know, like being thrown away.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How would I open it?
With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board.
Interesting. -1 for lonesome long way home. Smell the ledger.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axle, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
Which toilet would that be?
Remember when I said the smell of the upstairs bathroom was so rank they should have sent a poet to describe it?
Sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner, a line this poem might have used.
Why, yes it is. Among many other things. This cleaning tablet is used by the whirling in rags. Perhaps that's where the ledger was dropped in the toilet. By you.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What is in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
That's it.
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten scrap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
He raises both eyebrows. I burned out all right.
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There was mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters, too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
Or?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
My cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one, with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
He smiles. What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Commit to paper using the pen Lena gave you. Oh, yay! I get to use the pen.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion.
Is he Harry? Harry's come up twice. The dead body called me Harry. And now interfacing. Should I know my name by this point in the game? Do I have a last name?
Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Wait, wouldn't this notebook have my name in it somewhere? How do I still not know my name? Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
I'm done inspecting these. Close the case
You
files.
don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Browse the yellow papers.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of.
Well, great that I found a field autopsy form, since I'm gonna have to do the field autopsy soon. So looking forward to doing the field autopsy of the 7-day decayed, rotting body.
You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct fine.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
And I give somebody a fine for 130 real so that I have somewhere to stay tonight?
But they appear pleasantly vague.
Station call.
These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute.
Field autopsy.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Enough of these.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
I'm gonna leave those for now. Okay, so something I was supposed to post.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
Talk to the gardener. She said not to listen to you.
Pig, do you have any idea how fucking stupid that sounds? Kuno's cruising his bitch on the town,
and the bitch comes back griefing to the Kuno. What is up with that?
Get the fuck out of here, fat ass! Those pants are too small for you.
The pants are totally okay. Don't listen to her. She's trying to give you body image problems.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it?
The dead man's clothes were in the trash container. Point to the container. How did they get there?
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno.
I need to know. It could be a lead in the investigation. Someone may have tampered with the evidence scene.
Listen! Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
You'd have to be blind not to notice the giant white letters F-A-L-N running down his trouser leg.
Wait, I asked you what happened to his clothes. You must have seen them lying around. All right, entertain me. What's so great about these pants? No, Kuno, you don't know anything about the tampering investigation, and I already have pants. Wait, I asked you what happened to his clothes.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for that there. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Okay, I don't do these things because I think they'll be helpful. I do these things because it's an option, and I want to see what happens if I ask Kuno. I mean, admittedly, yeah, okay, I wasn't expecting much, but look, I get to find out about these pants.
Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in Mirova by scientists. Pants scientists.
See, I get to learn about pants scientists.
Believe it, you need this shit.
He unzips his jacket to give you a quick peek at the plastic-wrapped pants. They are graphite black and look brand new.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness. Coach Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready. They will also make you into an idiot.
So maybe a future playthrough. I might be interested in the pants. Let's talk about this later.
Alright, Pico, shit's rolling.
His face lights up.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
There was also a mug in the trash. Show him the mug. Why?
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again?
Yes, does this racist mug have anything to do with
Yeah,
it?
Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker? 'Cause he's the clothes fucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Kuno. Someone has tampered with the crime scene, cleaned some of it up.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
He nods in approval.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious. He likes putting two and two together here.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
He lets out a hiss, even meaner than before.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't...
An inconspicuous pile of the
Hope this flashlight doesn't run out of batteries.
The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight through you. The belt is still around his neck. His body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
I love encyclopedia. Why don't you know? What use are you?
You must have me confused with the Copperpedia.
I do need a Copperpedia.
You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
I hope we do. It's getting really late for an autopsy.
Okay. I've been going for, oh geez, like 3 hours here. So, unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to call it a day on that one. And we'll have to get back to that another time. Hopefully I'll be able to get back to this before next weekend. This game requires a little bit more attention and investment than some other games, so it's a little bit harder to do during the week when I'm kind of like tired from work and stuff. But so who knows? Might be able to get an hour here or there, but otherwise it's probably back to doing on the weekend. So, but enjoying this game so far. Excited for next time when we do the field autopsy. That's exactly what I want to do. This autopsy of body that's been rotting for a week. I'm sure tons of interesting stuff's gonna come out of that. And also take the dude's boots because I do still want the boots, even though it has been on a rotting corpse for a week. But anyway, see you later.